Thanks for staying with us here on TVC Breakfast. It's now time for us to look at what the papers are reporting. The Nation newspaper with the screaming headline, Defense Minister Badaru resigns. President accepts exit on health grounds. Replacement likely this week. Next is this Nigeria. Insecurity. Defense Minister Badaru resigns. Presidential aide. He quit over ill health. He had to go. He was inefficient. That's according to sources. Next is the Platform Times. Northern banditry surge. Northern leaders push for urgent creation of state police. Cite fewer than 400,000 officers for 200 million citizens as unsustainable. Push for community-rooted policing to curb kidnappings. Herder-farmer clashes. Next is the Daily Times. Deliberate over politicization of insecurity reckless, says Governor Sani, accuses opposition of amplifying fear, distorting facts. Next is Blueprint newspaper. NSCDC's 63,000 workforce can't meet VIP's needs. That investigation needs specialized manpower. Federal government promotes 24,000 paramilitary officers. Corps must be well equipped, trained for new role. That's according to the ex-DSS director, Mike Ejiofor. And report any VIP with escort. Presidency tells Nigerians. Next is Leadership newspaper. Northern leaders want mining exploration suspended. Back state police and also above the masthead. You see, abducted Niger school children will be back soon, says Badaru. Next is Nigerian newspaper. Nigerian News Direct newspaper. Dangote slams IOCs, says Nigeria has no justification for importing refined crude products. Vows to export products if marketers continue dumping. Next is, last but not least, is the Sporting Live. The Sport Extra, actually. This is saying, Little can Shell afford to overlook inform Onuachu ahead of AFCON 2025. So it's the talking football and activities going on there. But let's start off with this Etoma, Ria, and of course, the just returning Olamide looking beautiful as ever. Yeah. All right, so if you look at the Nation newspaper as well as this Nigeria, saying that insecurity, we have the defense minister resigns. Others are saying that he's resigning on health grounds, while critics are saying that he had no business being there in the first place.
Well, those people that are saying that are indicting a whole lot of other people, you know, that ensure that he got the appointment as Minister of Defense. But if the man says he is not feeling well and he has to bow out, I mean, he should. He has just created a record. I don't think I've heard a 7th minister resign in this country before.
No, it has. It has. Kemi, what's her name?
Kemi Adeosun.
She resigned.
Resigned.
Yeah, we have another one. I can't remember the name from the top of my head. Okay. But it has always been on health grounds. Yeah. So can they resign based on other things, not health?
Ngelale resigned on health grounds too. Yeah. However, the reason for the resignation is not the issue, but the man resigned when he is needed the most.
At least there was a resignation.
Yes, he resigned when he is needed the most as Minister of Defense at this time when Nigeria is facing so much as far as security is concerned. One would have expected that this is when he will roll his sleeves and now and take charge of everything, but he chose to resign. As time goes on, we will get to know the health reason why he resigned. Those that say he wasn't efficient, well, that's your opinion.
Yeah. Well, so we know that he was appointed in August 2023, so he served about 2 years as defense minister. And for me, I'm going to take a different toll with this conversation because I feel like as defense minister, there's a whole lot that you need to do. You need to make sure that your country is safe even before things happen. Now, when people talk about him being inefficient, I think I would share with that. You know, maybe he came in with great ideologies, but he could not follow through with it because Ibrahim, the level of insecurity we've been seeing I've not even been hearing him speak. The news I'm hearing is just that he resigned. But with all these things happening, I've not really heard him come out to say, we are doing this, we're doing that. At the end of the day, your position as a defense minister, it's a very big role. It's not a small role as well. You are in charge to make sure that Nigerians are safe. You are in charge of the military to make sure that the military are fighting to keep us safe. So when people say that he is inefficient, I think I will share with that. And now he cited health reasons, which come see, come sa, like I always say, we are not sure whether it's health. They always put health on the forefront. But for now, I'm just hoping that the person that is put in charge understands the delicate position we are in right now as Nigeria. He left at a very delicate time that Nigeria is really suffering from insecurity. So all I'm praying for right now, that the person that is put in charge to just make sure that we stop this insecurity in Nigeria.
So Olamide, some people are already pushing Christopher Musa, but it behoves the president. It is prerogative to say, this is the person that I feel is going to do the job. As you said, it's a critical time, critical moment where we need all hands on deck, and we need professionals who can prosecute war, who understands the dire situation we find ourselves, at this current time.
Indeed, the president is doing his due diligence. Like you rightly said, CDS General Musa did pay a very quiet visit to the villa yesterday, and we don't know what they're talking about. But a lot of people are saying that this visit signals, the president seeking perhaps a more seasoned security hand for an appointment. We don't know yet. We'll wait and see. As we've all said, this is one of Nigeria's toughest moments security-wise. I don't believe we've ever faced such a threat this big, this magnanimous, this huge. So it's very, very scary that the Minister of Defense is exiting at this time. However, I must say, on a more social note, it's a very noble thing to do. He's saying, I don't have the capacity to carry Nigeria's security threat right now. I don't have it health-wise. I might not have it strategy-wise. And so I'm bowing out. I'm creating space for somebody who might be able to redesign Nigeria's security architecture. It's very important that he took that back.
I agree with you all. I totally agree with you. But oftentimes I'll say, if you do about 6 months and you cannot do it, please step down. Don't let us stay so long that we keep suffering this insecurity before you finally
Nigeria's security situation, or Nigeria's political landscape or security landscape it's more complicated than that. So you might not be able to achieve some things under 6 months. We've had someone who said we'll fix the power under 6 months.
I know, Ibrahim, but Ibrahim, at least let's see changes. Like Olamide rightly said, it's good that he stepped down, knowing the fact that
Ibrahim for me is the next person that would come, that would come, should be somebody that has a security background, should be somebody that was very well, from the ranks up, who has a lot of experience, especially when it comes to logistics and defense strategy. We need somebody, we need a square peg in a square hole for the next person that will come.
Absolutely, and I really hope that the government is very, very careful, because this transition to a new defense minister and the appointment, I don't want it to take away momentum from the security crisis. This appointing somebody, screening them, it should not take away from the security crisis that's going on. That gap should not affect the people who need security.
I want to believe that now that we heard the southwestern governors coming together, we have the South who had also met, and then now we're talking about the northern leaders who have come together. So it is something that is quite beautiful, and they know that this is a time that is so critical, and we need to resolve all of this quagmire as soon as possible. If you look at the Platform Times, it actually speaks to what we spoke about earlier. Banditry surge. Northern leaders push for urgent creation of state police, which is good. We have a whole lot of them, who had actually submitted their own reports. And the Daily Times is saying deliberate over-politicization of insecurity is reckless. That's according to Governor Sonny, accusing opposition of amplifying fear, distorting facts. And one of these opposition figures has been El-Rufai, who made the allegation that the government paid 1 billion naira to bandits, but the governors of the Northern Forum justified the non-kinetic approach. But all the same, they did not. They disagreed that they paid any ransom to these people. So he's saying we should be very careful, be patriotic enough as against politicization of insecurity that is ravaging through the country.
It is one of the traits of the average Nigerian politician that I think is very dangerous, because the average Nigerian politician will jump at anything to gain traction.
To their own selfish interests.
To gain traction and to gain popularity. Nigerian politics is slowly becoming like entertainment, where all publicity is good publicity. Whether it's good or bad, it doesn't really matter. You don't play with things like this. People are dying in their dozens. People are being abducted in hundreds. Lives are being changed. We're having people come out of this experience, if they are lucky enough to come out, with some serious mental issues. So it's not something anybody should politicize or play with.
Politicization of our politics has always been, sometimes they come up with religious division. At least we had the Yes That Did tape, even though he had not even able to come out to say, he said, I will sue you, that said that, and then he was not able to go to the court. So this is a problem. When we have politicians who are always politicizing and trying to divide us along religious lines, along tribal sentiments, along, even using insecurity as a bargaining chip or as a way of getting traction.
What I'm going to say is just going to be direct and short. A lot is happening. Instead of you to fight it, you're doing blame games. That is just what it is. Because at the end of the day, you're supposed to take the bull by the horn and fight the insecurity, not saying that, oh, this person did this person did that. RFI makes so many comments. I don't even want to go into his comments. But really, what we should focus on is the insecurity. We're talking about state police. Let's implement it. I want us to be doing the things that will help eradicate insecurity rather than saying that, oh, this person paid ransom, oh, this person took money. That is not what we're talking about. We often say when you hear people have been kidnapped, it's just another story. But to the families of the people that have been kidnapped, it's not another story. It's their loved ones that have been gone. So I feel like if our politicians really understand the importance of having your nation secure, then we'll not be having all these blame games. We'll rather be thinking about the way to make sure that we eradicate insecurity in Nigeria.
Let's move further to the Blueprint newspaper that says NSCDC's 63,000 workforce can't meet VIP's needs. That's according to investigation. And then there is needs specialized manpower. Federal government promoting 24,000 paramilitary officers. Corps must be well equipped, trained for new role, and report any VIP with escorts. Presidency tells Nigerians. So it's impactful. We have the NSCDC who will now be taking the role of private security and some other security, VIP, protecting the VIP, and then there will be private security and all of that. What are the challenges that you're foreseeing, vis-a-vis what ex-director Ejiofor had even mentioned? This
is very, very controversial. The real challenge is why we don't feel that we're important if we're not going around with police escorts. That's the real question. It's an internal Nigerian dynamic that we really need to unpack as a society. Before we even talk about whether the NSCDC workforce can handle protecting VIPs, whether they have the capacity. The real reason is, why are you going around with 20 more poles? On what grounds? Is my question.
Who is after your life?
Who is after your life?
I have an answer for that. So
yes, and more importantly, we have communities that are facing rural attacks. These communities are effectively exposed because they don't have proper security. And then we have people, hundreds of officers guarding a single man. The distortion really worries me, and I have to question our priorities.
But that even now, after Kayode Egbetoko has spoken and said it's been implemented, honestly speaking, I'm still seeing police officers with VIPs.
Being implemented.
I'm still seeing
only 11.
Yeah, because but he also made a statement. I saw it on social media that anybody they catch, any VIP they catch with police officers will definitely be brought to book. But I'm saying that I hope it's implemented, because we are saying that it's going to happen, but we are still seeing. I'm not going to mention names, but over the weekend we saw one very important personality with police officers as well.
Okay, let me come in here. 2-3 days ago, I think last week, I said that the number of policemen involved in this VIP protection were over 100,000. Yes, and the ones that the IGP has announced have been withdrawn are only 11,000 something. NSCDC is now up to 100,000 all put together. So yes, they are inadequate. And you want to ask yourself, you were asking, why should the police be doing VIP protection? First question I'll ask myself is, what is the reason, or why was the Nigerian police formed in the first place? It was to protect the colonial masters against the blacks.
Interesting.
Do you understand? And the parentage of an organization determines how the organization works.
Absolutely.
So the Nigerian police has always had that. And in fact, I had a high-ranking police officer saying that VIP protection is a major source of revenue for the Nigerian police.
Absolutely.
And I said, okay, so move the major source of revenue from the Nigerian police to the NSCDC.
Unfortunately, NSCDC is just about
I feel like where that
accounts.
is a problem is, we're saying is a major revenue for them. But let's remember there are people that need police officers that are dying every day. Absolutely. So are we saying that lives do not really matter?
No.
I want us to remember that we have a policing culture that is often moved by influence, not policy.
All right,
so this
guys.
policy is not going to such a lot of VIPs. We have a policing culture who answers to people in power, not policy.
But also, Ibrahim, no, don't forget the guest we had yesterday. Remember, he said something. It's not just about capacity, about training as well.
That's right. Let's change tack, guys. Let's look at Nigeria News Direct, saying that Dangote Islam's IOC says Nigeria has no justification for importing refined crude products. Vows to export products if marketers continue dumping, seeks legislative backing for Nigeria First policy. So we've got the PIA Act, which is the Petroleum Industry Act, which also helps that we prioritize what belongs to us. We buy Nigeria, we use Nigeria. But people are Nigeria. Some unpatriotic saboteurs are actually using, exploring the loopholes within the PIA to go outside and then, get this crude oil. Some of these countries also, the IOCs also take our own crude oil, give it to other countries or other whatever businesses, and then they add like $4 to $5, and then we now start importing. Dangote is looking to expand. The reason we are also having criticisms from people like who go guns a-blazing.
Look, this man has the capacity, and he has proven it, to supply PMS, diesel, and the rest locally. And
even internationally.
Yes, and still has enough to export.
Exactly.
So I am wondering, why are we still importing? Look, as time goes on, things change, businesses change. 15 years ago, tech companies were not known. All right? But now tech companies are the major money makers all over the world. Things evolve. Business is dynamic. The way countries make money is also dynamic. So I'm going to advise the marketers that start thinking of the Petroleum Industry Act and take advantage of it.
They are taking advantage, albeit the other way around. They turn the book on its head.
Take advantage of it positively. You have to change the business. You have to change your business style.
Right. That's right.
And align with what's happening now.
That's right. Ria, you see that there is this diverting local crude, frustrating local supply, importation license. Some of these licenses, they need to really look at them, so well, because they still go outside. I don't know what the catch is for it. I mean, in it for them to always bring in refined oil when we have it here.
For me, I'll say that when we say Nigeria first, it seems like we just say it, but we do not practice it. Because oftentimes you hear people say, let's prioritize Nigeria. But at the end of the day, we're talking about, Dangote saying that I have the capacity. Why do we still have to go outside? And getting from outside is actually more expensive. So when you put the two and two together, are we really practicing that let's prioritize Nigeria first? A lot of people will say, oh, monopoly and all of that. But at the end of the day, when we look at it, Dangote is our own. He's a Nigerian. He's not a Japanese. He's a Nigerian. No, it's true. Let's just put it on the ground so people understand.
It's a choice of country. That's making me laugh.
He's a Nigerian. So why don't we really support our own? Also talking about refineries, Ibrahim, I was about to say Olamide. Ibrahim, I miss you. How many refineries are working as we speak?
Yeah. At least we know of Dangote refinery.
Exactly. And then the Port Harcourt refinery that is,
but if I may talking about Dangote, has the capacity to do 650 million and is now looking to expand to 1.4.
Absolutely. Dangote is saying that we have no justification for still importing crude products. We do have a justification. It is our failure. It is a justification that is rooted in our failure. It's a justification that is rooted in the fact that our refineries have been in comatose for several decades. It's very, very scary when you think about it, and it's very sad.
Absolutely. If you look at the Punch Sports Extra saying that Lethal can Shell afford to overlook inform Onuachu ahead of AFCON 2025. So we know that Shell cannot afford to overlook this beautiful club performer who had this performance for the national team because of Onuachu has been in excellent goal scoring form at his, club, Trabzonspor.
Do you know what happened to me while I was in Istanbul?
Yeah.
I went to a shop and I said, he said, where are you from? I said, Nigeria. He said, oh, Seaman. I said, yeah. It was the only English that he spoke, but it was a moment.
Is a big fish there, and then a whole lot of people actually
love him there, actually.
In Istanbul, to the extent that some fanatically, they renamed a mosque after
I think I heard that.
They love him. They love him.
That's how,
that's
how fanatic they are about Osimhen. But it's good that he's one of us. That's about it for the newspapers up for review. We'll take a breather and return. That's about it. And then when it comes, after the break, we'll bring you all our discussions for today.